Hello everybody and welcome to your video notes on Learning Target 3.5, which is on free fall. In this video we're going to just be talking about velocity and velocity calculations. This would also be basic level because we are just finding all of these are going to be with v1 equaling 0. Okay, I'll talk a little bit more about that here in a moment. So all of our examples are going to be for v1 equaling 0. In this one, we're just going to be finding final velocity in this. Okay. The other half of the basic is finding when we're doing distance. Okay. But for now, we're just doing the v2 equals equations. So before we get started, the main equation that we're going to be using is this: v2 equals v1 plus acceleration times time. Now here are some hints. So a different color. This hints. So v1 equals 0 meters per second. And we know that because it'll say something like when the object is dropped, or the problem doesn't mention it. When it doesn't mention starting velocity. The other hint that you should know is that A is going to equal negative 9.8 meters per second squared always when in free fall, which obviously all of these will be. And really, instead of saying free fall speed, we should be saying free fall velocity. Okay. So the first problem that we're going to do is this one right here. You can see which one's coming up next, but for now we're just going to focus on this one. What is the object speed or velocity after 4 seconds? So we want to find v2 in this problem. Now, for thinking about our guess method, what are our givens and unknowns? So v1 equals, v2 equals, a equals, and t equals. So if you remember the hint from before, it doesn't even talk about what's going on here. Here's a picture of what's happening here. So if we start at rest, so 0 meters per second, 1 second it's going that fast, 2 seconds that fast, 3 seconds it's going faster than that. So we'd expect our answer to be less than, or a bigger number but more negative version of 29.4. Okay, so that's where we're going with this. Okay, so if we zoom back in here, we know that v1 is going to be 0 meters per second. v2 is our unknown, that's what we're going to find. Acceleration negative 9.8 meters per second squared. Always in these, and then the time is given to us 4 seconds. So then our next one, let's switch colors, is going to be our equation. Which equation are we going to use? Well, just that bad boy. Uh-oh. Okay. Almost broke it. Let's see. Ooh, look at all these beautiful colors. Let's do purple. Go Hawks! Alright, now we substitute. So we take our v2 is still in there. v1 is the 0 meters per second. Plus our acceleration, which is going to be the negative 9.8 meters per second squared. I'm good at writing squares. And then the time would just be the 4 seconds. Now what happens here, ooh, orange, I like orange. Seconds cross out the squared here, so I'm just left with the meters per second there. So then to solve, I just have to multiply these two together, and I'm left with v2 equals a negative because we have 0 plus a negative, so that ends up going away. The 0 goes away, but the negative stays, and I've got my 39.2 meters per second. Okay. I want you to pause the video and try doing this one on your own now. I'm going to show you the answer here, though, in just a moment. All right. Excuse me. Here's what we end up with. Givens are very similar. The main thing that's different is the 12 seconds. Equation's the same. And then we just substitute in with our negative 9.8 times 12 this time. And then we end up with still a negative, but it's moving much faster now at negative 117.6 meters per second. So that's our last S in guess. And then this, I just forgot to label that as our solve step there. All right, that's all I got for part 1 of things moving from rest. Up next, you should watch the video. Let's see, I thought I wrote it up here somewhere. Yes. You should watch the video now that has V1 as 0, but then we're going to find distance next. So go ahead and watch that one next. Thanks for listening.